today we are in Sydney.
Sydney, capital of New South Wales and one of Australia's largest cities, is best known for its harbourfront Sydney Opera House with a distinctive sail-like design. Massive Darling Harbour and the smaller circular quay port are hubs to the waterside life. With the arched Harbour Bridge and esteemed Royal Botanic Garden nearby, today was our first day in Sydney and we were beyond excited for this stop on our trip. I feel like Sydney is one of those places that you always hear about, and the Opera House is so iconic. Getting to see it in real life is unbelievable. Sydney is also a big cruise stop for many cruise ships, so there was one when we arrived, and it was so cool to get to see a cruise ship so close. We made our way over from the harbour into the CBD and over to the Victoria building. This honestly has some of the most stunning architecture and is a mall that actually connects to Westfield underneath, which is really cool. We spent a good amount of time here wandering around all the levels and admiring the architecture, whilst also trying to find something to eat because we were getting quite hungry. We went past my favourite shop, which, if you see my other vlogs, you know Alex never lets me go in. Except this time! We were in desperate need of hand sanitizers and I feel like I've bought so many on this trip, but I've lost them all. We then headed over and tried Seoul Original and of course got a boost because that's our new favourite thing. And we had seen this restaurant everywhere, so we decided it was finally time to try it out. And honestly, it was pretty good. The food tasted really fresh and I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a nice light lunch. We then made our way back over to the harbour as we booked a harbour cruise. The weather started looking not so good, but the rain did luckily hold off the entire time we were in the city. We set off on our cruise that started just outside the Opera House and got to get such a close look at it. We're all smiles here, but don't be fooled, it is pretty chilly. We got some pretty good views of the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House walking around the harbour, but I've got to say the views from the cruise ship are immaculate. Our tour guide was also really informative about the harbour and told us a lot of facts about the city. I did not know that this was the original landing point of the colonisers and that the British originally began settling here. The tour guide gave us a lot of information about the origins of the stolen land and how Australia came to be what we know now. I do always think it's really important to learn about the origins of the places that you visit, and this definitely ticked the box for us. Once our tour was over, we headed over for dinner at the Opera Bar.
Had a really lovely meal at the Opera Bar, courtesy of Alex and his parents, so thank you very much. That was so delicious and we are slightly tipsy, but we're gonna go get our we saw Spice Girl. Now I won't insert a photo I got of her because it's not very good, but we saw Spice Girl, Mel C. So you heard it here first, even though this is like probably weeks after we were here, so don't try and come stalk her, but she was here. That's $15, so it's a good thing it's good ice cream.
We then wanted to stay in the city until dark so we could see the Opera House and Bridge lit up. It was definitely worth it as it is just as iconic at night time as in the day. We then got the train back to where we were staying and headed straight for bed after our long day in the city. Today was a bit of a cooler day and we were ready to make our way over to our next activity. While in Sydney, one of the big things to do is to go to the Blue Mountains. We weren't sure how much we would get to see as the weather was really poor, but we managed to see the Three Sisters, which was what we were looking most forward to. This area of Australia feels so different to any other part that we've been so far, and in my opinion, we've seen quite a lot of Australia. We then headed over to Mile High Pies to, of course, get a pie. Alex has been so obsessed with pies on this trip, and I don't blame him. The Australian pies are really tasty. We got our usual steak pie. We spent the rest of our days in a mall looking around the shops. I've had a really lovely day today in Sydney. It was so foggy at the Blue Mountains today that we didn't really get that much of like a good view, but honestly it was still worth going just to see the little bit that we did see. And then we just kind of went and chilled in a shopping centre. I got these really pretty earrings from Louisa or something. It's the brand that is literally everywhere. But yeah, so I picked some of those up and they are super cute. But we are about to go to bed. Tomorrow is our last day in Sydney and we have something very fun planned that we're excited for. So I feel like it's the last iconic thing we're missing from our Sydney trip. So yeah, excited to go and do that. I'm just editing at the minute. Here's my iPad. And honestly just want to go to sleep because tired. We did spend the evening tonight with Alex's family friends, so that's why I didn't really film. But yeah, we are gonna go to bed now because we do have to be up quite early tomorrow morning to go and pick our car up from where we had dinner tonight because we drank too much to drive home, didn't we? Actually, I think we probably could have driven because I don't actually think we drank that much, but anyway, good night. We woke up today with one agenda. It was pancake day and we were not willing to miss out. Headed off today to Bondi Beach. It is a bit of a rainy day, but we're still gonna go and enjoy our day at the beach. We just had pancakes because it is pancake day. You have to have pancakes. But they were very filling and I'm now like, oh, we're gonna go swim. But it should be good. We made our way through a little bit of a dreary morning drive across the Anzac Bridge and over to Bondi Beach. We got the most stunning views of the city during this drive as well, and the bridge was so pretty. Another bonus is as we moved into the city, the weather started to clear up more and more. We're almost hopeful that we might get a nice day in Bondi. The drive through the city was so beautiful, and we were surprised how close we could get in without paying any tolls. We quickly arrived at our parking and took the bus into the beach, as parking can be limited. And it was sunny! We were so happy to have a nice clear day at Bondi. We did a little walk around and there was one thing that I was so excited to see, and that was the pools right by the beach. I feel like every time you see a photo of Bondi, you always see the pools, and it is just as stunning in real life as it is in the photos. We weren't sure if we were going to swim, but it was only $10 each, so we decided to treat ourselves. Now, they are saltwater swimming pools, and the waves splash up into the pool. It is so cool. Alex was then determined that he actually wanted to swim at Bondi as well, although I thought it might be a bit too wavy today. We decided we would give it a go, so we walked along the promenade over to the area that you were allowed to swim in, and it was a very small area. Alex was so excited about the lifeguard towers because he's always loved Bondi Rescue. We did attempt to swim at the beach, however, I think we only got to our waists. The waves were really going for it today, and after the shark situation in the Maldives, if you know, you know, I wasn't too interested in getting that deep in. We headed back into the CBD as I wanted to see the Opera House one last time. We had a little walk through Chinatown and over to lunch at Betty Burgers. We'd seen it all over Australia, so we decided it was time to give it a go. There was an even bigger cruise ship here today. I could not believe the size of this thing. It was humongous. We got one last view of the Opera House before we walked back to our car. It was then time to say goodbye to City because we were leaving the next day, which I was really sad about. I loved Sydney so much.
We're sunburned. We got sunburned. This elevator is so quick. Just did 8 levels in like literally less than 30 seconds. It's the fastest lift ever.
It was our last day in New South Wales and we were heading down to Canberra, which is the capital city of Australia. When we were doing our research, we did not find many recommendations telling us to go to Canberra, so we decided to just drive through it on our way to our next destination. And if I'm totally honest with you, apart from seeing the Parliament building, which was pretty cool, we didn't get up to a whole lot there. We went and grabbed some souvenirs and then hit the road again.
Just stopped at a rest stop to have lunch, and we unfortunately have to have McDonald's because it is like literally the only place that there is. So we are at a McDonald's, unfortunately. Also discussed how sunburned I got yesterday. I didn't realise how sunburned I was until I just went into the loos there and I saw my face and I was like, oh. Anyway, this is now the end of the vlog. We are heading to our next destination. If you guys want to guess where we're heading next, I feel like you could have a pretty good chance at guessing, so prove me wrong, you know. Put your guesses in the comments below and we will see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you there. Bye.